In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about 10 different ways that you could go about monetizing your video editing skill sets in today's day and age. Now, the reason I'm making this video is just to give you some ideas, maybe some inspiration about all the different things that you could do as an editor, because once you have the editing skill sets, you could do so much with it. There are so many different ways you could add value to businesses and people. So I hope you're going to find something in this list that might give you an idea to start something and that might lead to something amazing later down the road. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first idea for you is going to be editing VSLs or video sales letters. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to a website where they have kind of like a sales video on it, but that's what is called a VSL, a video sales letter. And the whole purpose behind those is basically so that they can kind of convince people to buy whatever it is that they are selling or sign up for whatever it is that they are selling, right? And there are VSLs in all sort of industries, and people utilize it, especially in online marketing, all the time. Whether it's some sort of a digital product, some sort of a service for an agency, or even sometimes for e-commerce products, people use VSLs. And the great thing about these is that, there is a lot of work that goes into it, and it has to be done really properly. They might even want multiple variations of it. So this is something that if you just are a really good editor in general, you could go ahead, offer to businesses, offer to do a new version for them or whatever it is. And because of the fact that this is a very important piece of video, in fact, they are going to probably spend, tens of thousands of dollars driving traffic to it, it's really key that it's as good as it can be. So businesses are willing to pay, generally speaking, a lot more money, for example, to get a 5 or 10 minute long VSL edited than a regular YouTube video or whatever type of video it is, because of the fact that it's so important and it needs to be on point. So this could be something that you can look into how to make a good VSL, how to edit it. And if you get really good at it, this is something you can make a lot of money from. Then the second idea for you is editing long form YouTube videos. So again, even within this, you could go in so many different directions, but this is how I've been able to make the majority of my money, both as a freelancer and also when I was running a creative agency. And I love this because, again, in whatever interest that you have, whether you are into finance, sports, or gaming even, there is money to be made there. For example, one of our students at my higher level coaching program, Henry, he's been selling gaming edits for over £1,000 per video, right? And he's been getting amazing results because he's really good at editing gaming videos, and he's working with some amazing and relatively big YouTube channels to do their gaming content, right? So YouTube videos, another great niche because there's so many directions you can go in just within this, and you're definitely going to be able to find something that is right up your alley. With all of these things that I'm going to give you as ideas in this video, it's very important that you actually dig yourself deep into it and you try to develop niche expertise within that certain type of video. Because even when I say long form YouTube videos, there's a lot of directions that you could go down within that. Like a tech review is edited completely differently than a finance video. So just try to choose one lane that you will go down in, and then find the best creators in that space. Find out what are some of their best performing videos looking like, how are they edited, and then get really good at being able to recreate those type of styles that are popular in that space. Then the third idea for you is going to be social media short form content. So this is something you might have already heard about, but again, it's great because it's relatively easy to get into it. It's not as difficult to learn short form content, but you want to make sure to stand out from the crowd. Try to learn maybe some more advanced sound designing techniques, some more advanced After Effects animation, because if you're just going to do the same thing as everybody else, you will obviously struggle. But there's also a lot of directions that you could go in within just short form content as well. Like I have a student who makes short form content for pizzerias, right? There's another one, for example, who works with traders, right? So there's so many different industries you could get into with just short form content as well, or even work with podcasts, right? So many different ways to go down, but it is also a pretty good one. In my opinion, it is a little bit more competitive than, for example, some of the other ones I'm mentioning in this video. But regardless, if you are really amazing, you can still obviously make it work. And especially this can be interesting if you are maybe working not in an English market. Like if you're making short form content in German or Swiss German or something like that, like more of a unique language, but the country has good financial stability, then you might be able to really make a lot of money with that in that place. Then the fourth idea I have for you is editing podcasts. So, when it comes to editing a podcast, you need to be really good at the actual audio editing and mixing part, and also just, making it seem interesting, maybe even cutting out short form pieces from it, finding the most interesting parts. So this is another niche that is totally a viable way to make money. And there are so many different podcasts out there. It's one of the fastest growing medium. So definitely something to look into if you're really into podcasts. Then the fifth idea I have for you is editing e-commerce store ads. I'm sure you're familiar with e-commerce. I'm sure you have bought something online in the past, whether that be a microphone or whether that be a camera light or even just a squishy toy, right? You have probably bought something at some point, and I'm sure you see e-commerce store ads all the time in your Facebook feed, Instagram feed, or even TikTok feed, right? And all of these ads need to be edited by someone. And it's kind of similar to the VSL example. The reason why you can actually make a good amount of money from editing ads for companies is because of the fact that it's so important for it to be good. If you just get really good at this direct marketing, you get really good at short form ads for e-commerce brands or whatever it is, then you will be able to prosper and thrive with that, because there are so many different e-commerce stores. They always need fresh ad creatives that they can test and run. So if you can provide that to them in a nice package and you are really professional, you also know what goes into making a good ad creative that converts well, then you will be able to make a good amount of money with that. Then the sixth idea I have for you is editing weddings. So this is something that obviously is a very stable market. People get married all the time, and it's probably not going to go away for a while. So there is even a lot of filmmakers, a lot of very professional high-level wedding people, right, who outsource sometimes the editing part because it takes such a long time to go through all that footage. So I don't know, maybe if you are super into weddings, you love that space, then this might be an interesting one for you to get into. Maybe you could even contact some of the top level, people in this space. Obviously, your skills will need to be amazing, but regardless, you could maybe even first work with somebody else, work under them, kind of assist them, and then eventually you can get to a point where you will be able to charge really solid prices for just handling the editing part of it, even if you don't go there and shoot. Now, oftentimes people do prefer to have it in one package, right? But I definitely think this is also a viable way to make money as an editor. Now, for the seventh idea, we have editing animations and creating motion graphics for long form YouTube videos, or just in general for short form as well. You could totally just specialize in on becoming really, really good at After Effects, Blender, more of these animating softwares, and just provide that aspect of it to even high level long form YouTubers who need those more animated explanations, or even for, short form content creators who want like really nice animated illustrations. If you just get really good at motion graphics, this is something that a lot of creative agencies want, a lot of creators want. So this could be definitely something that, if you can get really good at it, again, could be monetized relatively easily. Now, the eighth idea I have for you to make money with your editing skill sets is to actually make motion graphics templates for other editors, right? So this is another thing that you could do if you're really good at creating presets and templates and you have just incredible stuff. Then you could totally go ahead and start building a little bit of a personal brand around it, both on Instagram or YouTube, and then actually start selling these presets, for $20, $30, $50 each. And, a lot of people want these, so it can add up really nice and quickly, and you can make a few $100s per day with this eventually if you just stick to it. The ninth idea I have for you to make money with your editing skills is going to be editing video courses. So obviously, the online education industry is something that is rapidly growing. There are more and more digital products, courses coming out every single week and every single day. So all of those long course materials, they need to be edited, right? Hours and hours of footage. And especially for those creators or course companies who are a bit higher level, they will want to have nice explanations, nice animations, and just nice editing in the actual course material as well. So that's a lot of work. And, if you can go to some of these companies and say, hey, I will just handle this whole process for you for X amount, a lot of them are going to be interested, especially if you can have a quick turnaround time and, just work very efficiently. So that's another thing you could think about, editing courses for other people and doing their back-end product. And then the 10th and final idea I have for you in this video is going to be editing music videos. So obviously this is another one that's a classic. It's been around for a while. Music videos always need editing. So if this is something you're really interested in, you could get into it. It's not an easy space to make a lot of money with at all, but if you're very passionate about it and you're willing to become the best, of course, it's also a viable way to make an income as an editor. So I really hope you guys found some of these ideas interesting. Now, one thing I want to really emphasize for you is that obviously all of these ideas are good and all of them can work, but it's important that you just stick with one, become really good at it, and then also master the business side of this whole thing, right? You learn how to create a good offer, you learn how to price your services, you learn how to choose a niche, how to find those people, how to reach out to them so that they actually respond, how to get on a call with them, how to pitch them your package, how to handle their objections, right? These are also just as important as the other part of this equation. And if you are looking for help with that, we do have a program called the Full-Time Editors Academy, which exactly teaches that part of the equation. So if you're already good, you already have a good skill set, and you found something from this list that you are serious about making it work, and you need help with getting those first few clients, we might be able to help you. So you can check that out in the first link in the description. And otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video and you've got value from it, you found it interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below what kind of videos you make and what kind of videos you want to do in the future as well. And I will see you guys in the next one.